So to start off the eyes, I always like to prime. This helps cancel out any redness, any little veins that you have on your eyelids, and it makes the eyeshadow last way longer without creasing. What I'm using here is Max Painterly Paint Pot. I like it because it's kind of like a skin tone color, and I use it with a Real Techniques brush. After I do the paint pot, I always like to set it with a powder. Here I'm using the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Light. This helps me blend a lot smoother and it won't crease on me either. Now to start off the look, I always like to start with a transition shade, and I'm using MAC Free to Be eyeshadow. I like to buff it in the crease starting from the back end so that most product starts from there and bring it in towards the inside of the eye really soft. And you just intensify it as much as you like to then go to the next color. Now to deepen up the look, I take MAC Fig 1 eyeshadow with a little bit of a more dense brush. This is a MAC 217. I like to buff this in the outer corner, wing it out just a little bit to give a nice shape to the eye, and I also take it into the inner corner of the eye. You start intensifying it little by little, and that way you get more depth in your eye look. Always try to step back and look at your eyeshadow from far and looking straight forward. So when you open your eye, you see what it's going to look like when your eyes look normal, not when it's looking down or when you're blending. As you can see now, I'm taking a little bit of that same Fig 1 eyeshadow and I put it in the inner corner of my eye and I just wiggle the brush back and forth. I don't really move it too much, and that way I see the placement, and little by little I buff out the edges. Here I'm just going back and forth, deepening the color just a bit and connecting just very softly the top edge of the halo kind of eye look. And I take back my MAC 224 without any extra product on it and buff out the edges to smooth everything out. Now for a little bit more dimension to your eye look, you're going to take MAC Sketch eyeshadow. You're going to use a pencil brush. I'm not sure if this is a MAC or a Sigma one, but whichever one's going to work just fine. You're going to take little by little, and the color you're going to keep it really close to your eyelashes and buff it up very softly. Don't take it any higher than MAC Fig 1 because you want it to be a faded gradient effect. So you're going to get a little bit, keep it really close to the lash line, buff it out, and then take it in the inner corner, do the same thing, and go back and forth until it's as intense as you want. Now to highlight the brow bone, I like to use a really light eyeshadow. Sometimes I do shimmer, sometimes I don't. I didn't really do a shimmer because this is such an intense eye color. I did like a soft matte. So I use the same mineralized powder for my brow bone. Now for the really pretty sparkly eye color on the eyelid, I used a really old pigment that I had in my kit. It was from a holiday collection, a MAC pigment. I'm not sure the name of the color, but I will list it down in the bottom bar or in the description if I can figure out what it's called. But any nice sparkly pinky tone will look very pretty for this look. I used a synthetic brush and I wet it with Maro Badescu Rose Water, or you can use Fix Plus, also is awesome. And I start from the lash line and I take it up. Little by little, very softly, I start patting the edges just so I can blend it out and it doesn't look like this weird chunk of glitter right in the center of my eyelid. Also, excuse the lighting. It's a little off. It looks good, but I feel like it's a little washed out. I'll get used to it. I'll have to figure it out and learn how to use my lights and editing and all that good stuff. But I'll get it. I'll get it. With a small fluffy blending brush, after you do your shimmer in the center of the eyelid, you want to wait for it to dry a little bit and buff out the edges very, very softly. This is going to help smooth everything out and make it look super, super seamless. And then again, if you want to intensify it just a bit more, go back with that same sketch eyeshadow and the pencil brush, and that way you can push in the product and make it a little bit darker. To highlight the inner corner, I took MAC's Stars and Rockets eyeshadow. I think it gave a really nice pop to the look. If you're not into like a purple highlight in the inner corner, you don't really want to get that crazy because it is already an intense look, you can take any nice white eye look, a frosty one, a matte one, whichever one you like best, and apply that. My face was already moisturized, primed, and I went ahead and added my foundation. I used Makeup Forever HD foundation. Don't remember the color, I'll put it down in the description as well. To highlight and conceal, I used Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. And to blend it out, I used a damp beauty blender. As I said before, the lighting is a bit off and it's making my face look super yellow. I promise it matches my skin, like the rest of my body, perfect. Don't judge me. After buffing out the concealer, I like to bake or set my under eye with the Laura Mercier translucent powder. This helps it last longer, not crease, and I leave the powder there for a bit so when I do my under eye shadow, any fallout, I can just buff it out and it will not stick to my foundation or concealer and have to wipe it all off and do it again, if you get what I mean. Again with the same MAC Sketch eyeshadow, I'm taking a flat definer brush and I'm defining the lower lash line, the inner and the outer part only. We want to keep that same effect of the eye with the outer corner and the inner corner dark and the center really light. After, to buff it out, I'm taking a pencil brush with MAC Fig 1, also buffing out where we applied sketch. In the waterline, I used an Urban Decay purple eyeliner, but I don't know the name. I have to write it down for you. And I'm just buffing that back and forth until it's nice and smooth. Taking that same synthetic brush, wetting it again, and the pigment from the MAC Holiday Collection, and I'm applying that just in the center of the lower lash line to give it that pop of light. After you're finished with the whole lower lash line, inner tear duct, everything you need to do with your eyes, you can buff out that translucent powder because we're not going to be needing that anymore. Now we're going to go ahead and start contouring the face. I'm taking Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit in Light. Don't remember the name of the contour color. It's the center one in the bottom. And I just carve out my cheekbones really softly with this brush, little by little, and you can intensify it as much as you want. It's always easy to add more than to take off. So always start off with less product and then you can build it up a little bit more. I like to do my cheekbones, around my hairline, my chin, my double chin, my neck, my nose, anywhere that you like to carve out and make it look a little bit more sharp, I guess. And to buff out the contour, I love Benefit Hoola. I use this to bronze and yeah, to bronze. I swear I never noticed the faces I would make to do bronzer. It's really not cute. I cannot watch myself. I hate this. Now to touch up the highlight, I like to take the banana shade in the contour kit, the same Anastasia contour kit. I do this from the side of my nose all the way to my temple. I do kind of that triangle shape, just like when you do the concealer. I do a little bit on my chin, on my forehead, and down my nose. For blush, I really wanted a soft baby pink, so I took MAC Blushbaby. It's a matte blush, but you can do a shimmer, matte, whatever you like best. A bit of a highlight, I'm taking Becca's Jaclyn Hill's Champagne Pop. I absolutely love this highlight. It's a really nice champagne color, exactly what it's called. I do this on my cheekbones, a little bit on top of my eyebrow to get that JLo glow. Down my nose, my cupid's bow on my chin. And I like to intensify it just a little bit more. And for that, I take Mary Luminizer from the mall. It's a little bit more white. And I just add that in the specific area where I really want the highlight to hit. Not everywhere, just like on the center, if you know what I mean. I don't know, you'll see. Okay, here, you see, I'm adding it just on the center and I buff it out really softly. Even though it looks like I'm putting it everywhere, I'm not. I'm just doing it right in the center of the highlight of Champagne Pop. A little bit on the tip of my nose, down the bridge of my nose, and I'm applying just a tad in my inner tear duct. Here I'm just prepping my eyelashes with a little bit of mascara, getting rid of any shadow that fell on them for my false lashes. I did them off camera because I am the worst person to apply lashes on myself ever. So yeah, you guys don't want to see that hot mess. For lips, I'm taking Kylie Cosmetics Koko K. I really like the tone of this liquid lipstick. It's a nice pinky color and I think it all ties in really nicely with the eye look that we did. I absolutely love these liquid lipsticks. I feel like they're so comfortable on my lips. This is my opinion. Everybody's different. But yeah, I really like them. I have Dolce K, I have Kristen K, I have this one, and I can't get enough. And finally, I'm taking Mario Badescu Rose Water. I like to spray this all over my face as soon as I finish doing my makeup. I let it dry. Don't do any crazy face expressions because then it'll crease all over you. This helps the skin look hydrated and like skin again after all the powders and makeup that you have applied. We are all done. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you did. And I hope to make a new video soon. Bye.